So you finally got that big meeting with those guys you were looking for, and you followed my advice from last week, and you created a place to put your meeting notes. How do you quickly record that information, add all the people associated, and ensure that you're going to take quality and consistent notes time after time? In today's episode, I'll show you how I use a snippet tool in order to generate templates to ensure consistent and productive notes. As usual, let's start with our prerequisites. First, of course, you're going to need TheBrain Software, version 12 or later. I'm doing my demonstration on version 13, but 12 should do. You're going to need a code snippet tool. I'll show you the one I'm using, but any code snippet tool will do. And you should probably have a GitHub account to back these things up. You don't have to, but we'll talk about that more later. I'm always looking for ways to use as few tools as possible. To this end, I put in a lot of effort in using the Brain software as the center of my daily activities. In my last article, I discussed how I take meeting notes with the Brain software, something I do multiple times a day. But this is only possible because I have found a way to use templates to give me a fast way to create consistent notes. Some history. The Brain software's inclusion of Markdown language support in notes in the version 12 release was a significant game changer. This put note-taking ability on par or near many of the Brain's competitors. By that I mean I could capture well-formatted notes that would provide value to me when needed. However, I felt like something was missing, a way to create and use templates. Luckily, I still do a bit of coding and realized that the software engineering world already had solved this problem with code snippet tools. Markdown is key. As you see here, you can actually go and look at the Markdown reference in the Brain. We can see various syntaxes that they make available to us, such as paragraphs, titles, subtitles. Markdown is pretty popular. There's a lot of different ways to go about it, but the basics are here, and there are a few minor changes that they've made to Markdown itself. You can play with these on your own to figure out which ones you really want to use. The Brain themselves make some pretty good YouTube videos on how you might want to use these. I recommend you check them out. To get started with templates, I wanted to look for long-term storage. GitHub has a good solution here. GitHub's gists are very useful. Gists are repositories of small chunks of code. So if you have a GitHub account, you can create gist repositories as needed. If not, you can very easily sign up for a GitHub account and then start creating your own gists. You can go to gist.github.com to start creating your own today. Once created, they will always be out on the internet, available for retrieval. You can copy and paste from these pages, but I would recommend bookmarking the raw pages. For example, here in my book review, if I go here, I still have all the information, but it's not in that Markdown format. If I click raw, however, you can see I have that Markdown format ready to copy and paste into my Brain. While I found that my gist repositories were a good start, they really didn't help me be as fast as I wanted to be. So I moved forward and I found a snippet tool. There are a lot of code snippet tools out there, and the one I use is from Snippets Lab. I like it because it has an assistant that gives me a quick drop down to allow me to quickly inject inside my Brain or anywhere else. Now these tools are not complicated. You don't have to use Snippets Lab. Really, anyone will do. Whether or not it has that assistant, that's something that you're just going to have to look for in each tool. And of course, these tools are available for both Windows and Mac. Snippets Lab happens to have been included in SetApp, so that's why I chose it, because it is the easiest one for me to start out with, and the features really hit what I needed. First, I can very easily create all of my templates. Once my templates are created, I can upload them to my gists and have them saved forever. They also sync well from machine to machine. However, I have yet to find a tool that I can use on my iPhone or iPad in order to continue this level of productivity. Having the toolbar assistant means I don't have to switch applications to quickly grab a new template while documenting things in the Brain. You've already seen this as I've gone ahead and added information on meeting notes. But if I jump over to a person note, you can see how very quickly this allows me to just as well go grab person information that I might want to record at or during that meeting or at another time and just insert it very quickly. I find this to be one of the most powerful tools that I have available to me until TheBrain decides to include its own template engine to become on par with some of the other products out there. My closest one to this would probably be Obsidian. It really has a great template solution built in. In conclusion, by using GISTs on GitHub and or a code snippet tool, you can use templates to make your note-taking in TheBrain software that much faster. By making templating faster, you're more likely to use TheBrain to take notes as well as improve consistency of those notes. Maybe TheBrain will add Markdown templates to an update in the future. Until then, I'll use the snippet tool. Thank you. Please like and subscribe.